live right now, but I just want to check to make sure that you can hear us, right? Because we had a little bit of a mic issue a moment ago. So I am going to see if you can hear us. And you can. Awesome. So everybody can hear us, Luann. Isn't that wonderful?
Hello.
So,
This is
hello,
Oliver.
everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and welcome. I'm going to give you a brief introduction. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Stephanie Chevalier from Chevalier Music, and I like to do chats with local artists, musicians, um, visual artists, musical artists. And today we are talking with Luann. So I would like to introduce Luann.
Hello. It's very nice to meet you all.
Oh, it's so great to see you. It's funny because during quarantine, I feel like I've seen you so much more than than before because we were both so busy, busy, busy. Um, so tell us a little bit about your gallery.
Well, I opened the gallery
I just checked. I am.
23 years ago. It was called Zoe's Garden, and that was open for about 13 years. And then I closed that particular version of the gallery, and that featured all locally made gift items. Gave lots of first-time artists their start. That was a lot of fun back in the day when we were young. And now, a few years later, many incarnations later, it's Luann Carra Gallery, and I'm proud to say that I'm going to start new openings on June 5th. The first one is for Sally Hutchins. After that, we have Jude Asher, and I'm not going to remember everybody's names, but I have them written down here so I can write. Oliver needs to get down. He says goodbye.
Bye,
Um,
Oliver.
and so yeah, we're going to be showing lots of local artists and not just two-dimensional work. I'm going to have my friend Dana Neff makes beautiful wind chimes, and my friend Heather, I do know her last name and it's escaping me right now, is making beautiful light catchers.
Ooh.
So there'll be lots of gift items coming. We're going to have jewelry all made out of sea glass. Um, so lots of use of barking. Lots of new things are coming, and I'm very excited about moving forward.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was going to talk backwards, but you know what?
So,
Let's move forward, and then if we have time, we'll talk backwards in the during the COVID-19 during the pandemic. But
sure,
let's look forward because I think that's a fabulous idea. And you do a lot of really cool workshops. You
I
lead a lot
do.
of them
Well,
yourself, and then you bring people in.
mm-hmm.
Um, the first thing I
Well,
saw when I saw your studio was your mosaics. Can you tell
it's
us a
hard to
little bit
miss.
about your mosaic workshops?
Sure. So when I bought this house, a bunch of years ago, there was a lot of tile that they had left, just old antique tile. So I saved it, and I never knew why. And then a friend of mine uh, kind of built this countertop and then gave me some more tile. And so I just tiled it, and I just taught myself how to do mosaics. It's not that much of a challenge. It's where you take the breaking of tiles. You know, everybody does it differently. And so I just started mosaicing, and then I had chalked a drawing on the front of the house, and then I was teaching a mosaic class outside, and I said, well, I'm just gonna mosaic one of those flowers that I had done in chalk. My dog is barking. I apologize. Um, as soon as I'd go to do anything else. Um,
Exactly.
and then 10 years later, I finished doing all the tile work on the front of the house because it was a real
It's
labor of love.
it's incredible.
Thank you, thank you. You
It's
can, yeah.
incredible.
Uh, um, I don't think I'm going to add to it anymore, but it's lovely the way it is. I'm going to get him.
Absolutely. So I'm going to tell you guys about the mosaics on the front of her house. So when you walk, when you're strolling through Fells, um, it's one of the things that catches your eye on the side streets. So you'll see little shops and things, and then you'll happen upon Luann's gallery, and literally it looks like a little fairy tale land. It's under a tree, and there's
Mm,
and the light catches the mosaics, and she usually has all sorts of interesting things in the windows. Anyway, just walking by it is interesting.
thank you.
And
At night,
then
it glistens.
it does, it glistens. It's
It glistens when the cars go past.
and different times of day it catches the light
Yeah.
through the trees.
Hmm.
And then you did a really cool project during lockdown, I noticed. That
So
big.
lockdown was, it was a terrible time. So many people lost loved ones, and just the fear and everything. But it was also a time of many, many blessings. The least of which was financially. A lot of people needed art, I think, to make their spaces pretty again, because they were spending more time in their spaces. And so I had a lot of commissions last year, which was lovely and supportive. And so I made these two big circles. They're each 3 feet, and they're two apple trees growing toward each other. I made it for a couple that I know. So I think of it as them kind of separate but growing toward each other as they grow through their lives. They've been married since they were in their 20s. So that's like crazy and wonderful.
Yes.
Uh, and that I just got to see is in their backyard. They installed it, and it's really lovely.
It's
And then I
so
did
pretty.
my archway that's in my house. It's a mermaid made out of mirrors, because my mermaids sell pretty well, if I do say so. And I
Because
never
they're
get to keep
gorgeous.
them. Thank you. I never get to keep them, so I decided to make one for myself because I had a lot of time on my hands.
Well, yeah.
you know, I organized my art supplies. Now I organized my art supplies and my house and made lots of art. The pandemic was a time of, you can either grow or you can stay stuck and sad in this sadness that we were all going through. So I guess I chose to make stuff.
Absolutely. Well, the first time I came back into the gallery, I guess last week, and I saw it, I couldn't believe it. But literally, it's the whole archway. So if you get a chance to
It's,
visit,
it's,
it's
it's
worth just
this
looking at
archway.
that. Yes, you can see it
I
back there.
love doing
It's
this on the camera
yes, isn't that
because I'm
cool?
a child. Because I'm a child. Um,
It's absolutely beautiful, and
Thank you.
it has to me it has movement. It just sort of it
Thank
feels
you.
like a wave. It just sort of goes like this. A lot of your
It's
work does.
I People have commented, because my work is made out of glass and rust and uh, Christmas balls. I'm looking around, and I find everything in the streets of Baltimore, mostly a little bit of Florida, and I would say it's like shelling at the beach. You go shelling. Well, here you go out and walk the dog, and you find little bits of this and that, and you can make them. And I'm looking around because I have work over here that is an example. But I forgot your question because I'm babbling.
Oh,
What
I
did
was
you
gonna say
ask?
I forgot too. I was like, but no, I think it's fat. Well, your work has movement to me, but it's also fascinating that you use I don't know what do we call this?
It's
Recycle,
upcycle. It's
upcycle,
what we call it
upcycle,
these days is upcycle. Um,
upcycle.
I've been doing this before upcycle was called upcycle. I don't like wasting. I don't like throwing things away. I like reusing things, and so I find lots and lots of things. What I was going to say earlier is that people have said you take such hard um, pieces, like the stone or the mirrors, and you give them these soft movements, and that was a wonderful compliment to receive.
It's very true. It's absolutely true. I happen
Thank
to have a
you.
lot of your work, several of your pieces in my house. During the pandemic, I was one of those ones who felt the need for art. And it's funny because
It's wonderful.
this one piece had spoken to me before. And then when I saw it during lockdown, it really did. I'll post it later, but I don't even know what we call it. But to me, it's these beautiful flowers on a board that they're separated. But to me, it felt like I felt during this time, I felt separated and a bit broken. And then,
Mm,
but the funny thing is that what I like about it is that it fits perfectly together. So you can put it together like a puzzle or you can hang it apart. So we have it as such that we can move it. But it was interesting. We haven't moved it back yet, but it was just, I mean, we're just unmasking right now. So literally
yeah,
today as we speak, but um who knew that your art could change with what was happening? It was interesting. So I had to
and I
have that
think good
piece.
art shouldn't it?
It really should.
Or I don't know. Yeah. Well, I love that as light hits my pieces. A lot of them are mirrors and glass, and as the light hits it, you'll get reflections all over the room of the piece. So that's always kind of fun too. Um, yeah, I'm pretty proud of what I'm working on right now. So
Well, we that's where we first met was me just coming, I don't know, I bounced into your studio somehow or another, and then I just kept bouncing in. It just kept bouncing back and bouncing back. At one point, I
that's
didn't even have a car, and I just would walk down. Remember? I would hike down. I would, because she doesn't live that far from me, but it's quite a little hike.
it's worth going up that hill.
It really is.
It's a good hill to go up. I've walked up that hill twice today because I went walking this morning. No, yesterday morning, and then I teach a yoga class in the park, and we also it's a yoga art class for the little girls at the Wolf Street Academy, which is up the street. And so we walk over and we do yoga and we draw trees, and usually they do a mural somewhere in the school, but they're not going to get to do that this time because of the pandemic. But we are meeting in the park, which is wonderful. But yes, I've been walking up that hill quite a bit
Yes,
lately.
we're sort of separated by Patterson Park and a few blocks, really.
Yeah.
I mean, when you really boil it down, it's a huge park and probably 5 blocks. So it's
Okay.
so yeah. Now interestingly enough, one of the things that people do come to you is for wellness. So not only is it an art studio and gallery, but it is also, I consider it probably like a wellness center.
Well, thank you. We right now because of the pandemic, it's just yoga. But in the past, and hopefully in the future, we'll have acupuncture and massage therapy again. Um, Anything healing. I'm hoping to have Thai yoga, massage as well. It, and I think it all goes together. The art workshops are just as therapeutic as massage to me. You know, um, Sitting and making a mosaic for a few hours is very meditative. It can be frustrating at the end. I always say don't work on it for more than 2 hours because you're just going to start slapping things down instead of
Well,
taking your time.
and you know what? Having experienced it, um, you can either be so micro focused like my my niece was and really trying to get everything,
Right?
or I just was very sort of abstract. And we were completely, it was funny because we were completely different in our
Uh huh.
approach to the way we mosaicked.
And
Um,
go ahead.
I was just say, and when you said it's easy or whatever, you don't give yourself enough credit. First of all, it is really hard to break some of the things that we
There
broke.
is that.
So
The
that it
tile is
starts
difficult to break.
there, and then you have to bend over for a really long time because you're putting all of these
Yeah.
little, and probably you're going to slice your fingers in a
Oh, my
million
fingers are
different
just.
places. Yes. So
I have
whatever
at least
position
five
you're
cuts
in,
right now.
well, so whatever position you're in, like if you're mosaicing a wall, that these arms, whatever that position is, that's
Oh
the
yeah,
position that's gonna. So if you're this way, or if you're on doing a ceiling, I
yeah.
often
Do,
thought,
doing the archway. I started it last year, and I stopped right around here because looking up and doing this for a long period of time is terrible for your neck. It made
oh,
me
I
think of
can only
Michelangelo.
imagine. I can only
Yeah, it's
imagine.
so hard on your body. Like anything, if you're going to be physical, it's going to be hard on your body. So it's funny. Somebody
Absolutely.
recently was like, "Well, you shouldn't do so many different things," and I've narrowed it down over the years to, massage therapy, yoga, and art. And I like doing those three things, and I think they balance each other. The yoga makes it okay for me to make art, which is, a lot of repetitive motion, so it can be really tough on your body. So I like that balance, and I think that's why I like to offer those things to people.
Mhm.
You know,
Well, look what we have behind us.
lovely chairs.
Lovely chairs. So the first time I came into your gallery, these chairs were there. Um, I think it was before you sold that really huge mermaid.
Wow. Yeah, those. I've
It
had
was
those.
like
I
two,
had those for a while.
it was a few years ago. Three
Yeah.
years ago, maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. Um, but I was admiring these chairs and admiring these chairs. And now she gifted them to me. Aren't they beautiful? But they have such a story. I mean, these are storied chairs. They've been around, haven't they?
Well, yes. Um, as I said, I'm an upcycle artist, so I find everything street, including those chairs. They were they were in a dumpster, and there was a gentleman in the dumpster getting things. And I said, "Are you going to take those chairs?" And he said, "Well, I was going to, but do you want them?" And I was like, "No, no, you had them first. You take them." And he's like, "No, no, you can have them." So he carefully lifted them out for me and gave them to me. And then I had to carry them home while I was walking the dog, carrying two chairs, which is not uncommon. I'm always carrying garbage around. People are like, "You're so weird, Luann." And yes, yes, I am. Are you just figuring this out? I've been weird for my whole life.
But it's probably pretty
But
normal for Baltimore too.
well, yeah, especially Phil's Point. I often wonder why I settled here. I grew up on Long Island and went to school in New York City, and always thought that I would stay in New York for the rest of my life. And I just love Phil's Point. And not all the time. There are times where I'm just like, what am I doing here? But most of the time, I love it here for many different reasons and different levels. And part of it is the water, being able to walk down a block and see the water. And, I bought a long, long time ago when it was smart to buy.
Yes,
And
yes.
I'm really glad I did. It's a wonderful place. And I think I really see it finally. It seems like it's coming together, and I hope, that I get to see all of these little storefronts fill in with maybe more art galleries, and
So
that's my
can you
dream.
tell us a little bit about the art scene in Fells Point?
Well, we have a good what, 7 or 8 art galleries right now, and many creative spaces. We have a wonderful used record store on Alisana. Um, all the names that I should remember are escaping me right now,
Hair's
but
Breath, I think. Is that Hair's Breath?
no, it's right on Alisana, across from where Latvia used to be.
Ah,
And the frame shop is now there. It's Jack's place, but I can't remember the name of the. Anyway, and let's see, we have that wonderful. It depends on what you're talking about. I think of art as music and
Yes,
all of
absolutely.
that. So I mean,
Absolutely.
the music scene is just wonderful and lots of fun down here. But we
Oh
also
yeah,
have a
what's the
wonderful
what's that
the
one place called?
Bertha's or the Cat's Eye
The
has
Cat's
lots of
Eye.
live music,
Yeah, the
and
Cat's
that's always a
Eye.
lot of fun. And I'm also, there's on my street alone, there's a new place that's just opening where he's going to have other artists, local artists, but he's also making growing little plants and growing mushrooms, and not the fun kind, the kind you eat.
Oh, I've seen him. I think I
And
maybe
that's
tried to put an order in, and yeah.
yeah, he's right up here, so that's a lot of fun. And then we have Shlomi, who makes the most beautiful furniture. It's just outstanding. Um, and sheep's clothing, where there's beautiful sweaters from Ireland that are hand knit. To me, that's art.
Mhm.
And I'm, excuse me, my goal is to really highlight all of the creative spaces here in Fells Point. Um,
So maybe we
and
should do some strolls.
I would love that. We had the Fells Point Art Loop, and it just really didn't catch. It was years ago. It was very successful, and then it kind of dwindled, and it's nowhere near the amazing Highlandtown walk. They just do a fabulous job there, and they're clustered and they're organized, but they do a wonderful job. And I don't know that that's going to happen in Fells because we're so spread out. But I think that we could do these kind of things and just stroll around and talk to the different store owners, go in and say hi and see what everybody has. And I would love to do something like that because we have so much to offer here in South Point.
Absolutely. And even there's artisans that come to the market on Saturday mornings. Now y'all have that market on
That's
Saturdays?
right, exactly. And I know that the Baltimore market, I mean our new Broadway market,
Mhm.
um, they want to have art in their space as well, like in the market once we're up and running, open again. So if there are other artists listening or watching, we're always looking for new artists down here. I'm always looking. I'm booked until December, but after that, I'll be looking for artists again. And I have to tell you, you have the three ukuleles in the background there, and the one closest to me looks like a tiki head.
And you know what? It's the most interesting ukulele, and oddly enough, it has a beautiful sound, but the neck will slice you. I mean,
Wow.
it's like nothing so I'm now that we're able to be out and about, I've only been vaccinated fully for a couple weeks. I mean, this is all new. I need to get that. I think they can file the edges on it, and then it'll be fabulous. Because I have found that I really like these little tiny ukes and the little pineapple next to it. I love
I know. Well, I want to. I'm looking for lessons.
that. You'll
I
join
I
our
am I
class.
am bound and determined to play an instrument.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. It's gonna start. It'll start in June. It'll be very,
Okay, good.
very, very, very laid back.
Well,
Oh,
I'll fit. Yes.
I would like to hear about your art shows that are coming to your gallery that you have
Okay.
happening coming up.
Okay. I want to oopsie. Oh, I will do that, and I also want to tell you real fast. We're going to be having figure drawing classes, workshops, um, plein air painting club, where we're going to meet here, pick up easels, and then walk around Fells Point, work points farther to paint together in numbers outside. We do still teach the yoga classes. Mosaic classes are hurtling along. They're booking up like crazy. It's wonderful. Um,
Those are great
and
classes.
thank you. It's a fun class. Everybody has a great time when they come. Two girls came the other night, and they um, worked for 5 hours because the one girl lives in Jordan, the country,
So
and
she
was
had to
only in here
finish.
visiting, so she had to finish. But they both, and again, they always come out really beautifully. And the art shows
Yes.
coming up are monthly on the first Saturday of the month at 12:30 in the afternoon. So it's a nice afternoon thing to do. This month, as I mentioned earlier, is Sally Hutchins, who owns the bar 1919, which is right across the street from me. It's the best dive bar in the whole entire world, and or at least Baltimore. And she's a wonderful photographer and collage artist. And if you look at my Instagram, Luann Carra Gallery, you can see a couple of the examples. I'll be posting more. And her opening is June 5th at 12:30.
That's going to be fabulous.
I was trying to get that all out really fast because we're close to 7:30.
Oh, no, that's okay. I can't wait to see that. And
The
then
show,
you
me
have,
too.
oh, I can't wait to see that. I have not met her in person.
Oh,
Um,
Sally is just the salt of the earth, and I mean that with absolute sincerity. Um, I've known her since I bought my house,
See, I
and
was only here for like 8 months and then we went into lockdown.
oh,
So I really, unless I mean, yeah. So I didn't really get to meet as many. I've started to meet a lot of people now, though.
I have a feeling that you will.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. So in June it's Sally. In July it's Jude Asher. Do you know Jude?
I don't.
I feel like you know her. She's a wonderful. You go to her page. She makes these wild little boxes and what do you call this kind of art? I am so sorry that I am so inarticulate tonight, but you'll have to come to her show and see it.
Are they
Um,
like shadow boxes?
yes, but they're shadow boxes.
I think I've
Um,
seen her on the gram.
yes, I'm sure you have. And
Yeah.
she always says, "Happy dreams, everyone," with this sometimes really beautiful picture. They're always beautiful, but sometimes they're a little scary. Um, and then in August, my friend, I didn't write it down, but Adrienne Williams is going to be showing. I've challenged her to do some different things, but she does some beautiful dog portraits too, in addition to the different things that
Oh,
she's going to be
dog
presenting.
portraits. Yay.
Mm-hmm. And then in September, my friend Renee, cannot remember her last name. I am so sorry. This is awful. It'll all be on the bid.
Yes.
You know, um, a girl that I knew when I worked at Macy's doing displays. I had hired her, and she had to quit to have her baby. And then I never spoke to her again until maybe 6 months ago, and we booked her in for a show. So
Oh, that's
the
great.
magic of the pandemic, you know.
Yes.
And then in October, I'm super excited. Rosa Left, go to her page too, is going to be doing a paper cutting class and a paper cutting show. And when I say paper cutting, she does these amazing, really fine. You would never know they're paper cutouts. And it's just one piece of paper. So Rosa Left, go to her page and
Oh,
take
that's cool.
her workshop. It's going to be a lot of fun. Um, and then Walter Levy is one of my photographers friends, and he's going to be showing in November. And then in December, I'm hoping, and Walter's amazing. I think you'll really enjoy his show. And then in December, I'm going to have a group of different artists so that there's a little something for everybody. Um, Nothing like a good group show to.
Those shows are so fun. Group shows are really
They
fun.
are. They
Everybody's
are. And
always
then,
super excited.
yeah, it's just nice to just get the group together, and especially that time of the year, and hopefully we'll be a lot healthier by then. And then also, I'm having a show at the Alchemy of Art, which is right on Eastern Avenue. The building used to be where the nuns lived, and they would practice singing in one of the rooms. The acoustic, you can just whisper, and you hear everything.
And where is
It's just
it?
beautiful. She is on I don't know the address, but it's right on the corner of Broadway and Eastern, right near the Ritz.
Okay.
Everybody knows where the Ritz is. And then there's that empty place, and then she's right here. And then there's the Polish Alliance,
Mm-hmm.
um, and Sheridan Costa owns the building, and she has
Oh,
been, I think, 10 years, maybe a long time. and doing very well. And it's a wonderful space. There's 2 rooms to show. So my show is July 1st. Please try to come.
Oh, I will
Um,
definitely come. And
it's gonna be lots of
everybody out
mermaids.
there, July 1st.
July 1st and June 5th here for Sally.
Yes,
I'm
that
very
is going to
excited.
be fabulous. Now, I am just going to tell a few other things that you do
Uh
for people
oh.
to keep their eyes out. Oftentimes, you'll have other people come in, or you'll do things like this yourself. Like, you've had a lady come and do tie dye out front, and people brought
Yes,
stuff
my
and
friend
like a tie dye.
Kimberly. If you get to go to Sleeping on Rainbows, I was just speaking to her earlier, and I asked her if she would like to be interviewed. So we'll see how that
Yay!
goes. She's wonderful and started her tie dye business 3 years ago. And again, she lives right up the street from me, and she's doing so well with her tie dye. And it's not just tie dye; her work is art. It's
It's
um,
beautiful.
it's so beautiful. It's these geodes, and she uses ice to whatever it is that she does to make the colors brilliant and fabulous. I don't know how to speak about her work.
It's not your mother's tie dye.
No, it's not just,
It's definitely
it's this
not.
tight, clean, beautiful, and then these geodes. And yeah, you have to go check her out. Sleeping on Rainbows.
Sleeping on Rainbows, and I will
Yes,
try to connect us so that we can do a chat.
I shall.
Now, you were also, I know we talked about it a little bit, but you were also talking about you doing a little workshop with oils, maybe coming up in the future.
Um, uh, okay, I didn't know
I
I was
bet
doing that, but
I bet a lot of people would be interested. She's she's like a renaissance woman. She does everything. Now she does um she makes sprays and things like that, and she'll do little workshops for you. So like you can get together with a group and come and make these little things and walk away with it, and they just smell heavenly. You can smell it when you walk
oh,
into
the
her gallery.
oils. Yes, I thought you were talking about
Yes.
oil painting.
No,
And I
the
want to do an oil
oils.
painting class too, but that's oil painting just takes forever. And really, you teach yourself that, in my opinion. I yes, just started carrying. Well, I've always carried essential oils, but I did a big
Yes.
buy um, because I was making my own hand sanitizers, and so I bought a bunch of oils, and so now I want to have maybe little parties where you can walk away with 2 bath salts that you've made with different fragrances of rose and sandalwood. I love my oil. Um, and 2 room sprays and maybe a body spray. And if that works out well, I'll expand maybe into shampoos and conditioners and moisturizers and that kind of stuff. So
Well,
that's exciting.
I really think you should do it because it just all smells so wonderful. It's so therapeutic.
Well, thank you.
I know that I love making just making body butter is so much fun.
Mm.
It really
I
is.
really want to make some candles too. I go back, I vacillate. Should I buy some candles? And then I don't have to make them myself because I'm a little busy making other things right now. But
Seems like candles are probably pretty labor intensive. I mean, to me, because I thought the same thing about making lip balm. I was like, oh, I can make body butter. Why not lip balm? I have a feeling that it's going to be a little bit more labor intensive than I was
you just never know,
until you get in the middle of it, right?
right?
And then you're stuck.
I used to do a candle making class, and it's really not that bad. It's actually candles are kind of easy to make. It's just it's messy and it's time intensive,
Hmm.
and um, you just have to decide if it's worth the amount of time. I think it would be a nice little feature if more than less things are made by me in the space,
Yes.
so that it would be my soap. But then again, soap making, I keep thinking, well, I'll just make some soap one weekend. But then you have to realize that, like Stash Soapery is a friend of a friend, and she makes the best soap. And that's what
Yeah.
she does. It's almost like the plumber. You call the plumber because yes, you could probably do it yourself, but the plumber does this for a living. Let them do it for you.
Yes. Yes, but coming
So
and making your own scents is like,
That,
It's
yeah.
it's like a girls' afternoon. You know, you get a few of you together and you get to
Mhm.
decide which scent you like. And it's sort of a social thing too. And I think we're all sort of craving that a bit right now.
Absolutely. And if it's nice out, we can work outside. I do a lot of the workshops outside. You know, we set up inside, get everything we need, and then sit outside to do the actual work, which is so
That's
nice under
great.
the big tree. Especially this year, the trees are just huge.
Oh, just beautiful. And you know, and what I like about working with oils is it's not like you need any um, training or anything. Like when you try to crochet, or you know, you have to have some sort of skill
Right,
set. With the oils, you can just say what you like and what you don't like, and that's your
right.
skill set.
No, yes.
Yes, exactly. That's my kind of workshop.
Me too. It's like
Well,
my
oh my gosh.
volunteering. I like to
Well,
do it in spurts.
I definitely want to get together and do this again.
Me too.
And I hope that everybody who tunes in either now or on the replay, um, ask any questions that you have, because we're going to come back and do this again, and I'm sure that that Luann can circle back and answer any questions that need be. Um, and we'll post this on her wall as well, so that it'll be up on both of our walls. But things are opening up now, and it's time to get out to Fells and go to Luann's gallery and all the other galleries and spaces with all the fabulous artisans in Fells Point, right? It's a pretty
There are
amazing
many.
place. It's pretty amazing place. I'm very fortunate to live here.
I feel very blessed that I live here.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. We'll see you next time.